Turning now to the latest on the DCA air disaster. Here's a live look at the recovery mission along the Potomac River from Reagan National Airport. Just about 30 minutes ago, the Unified Command said that the remains of all 67 victims involved have been recovered. It has been nearly 1 week since an Army helicopter and an American Airlines plane collided midair. Our Matthew Torres has been on top of the recovery mission all week long and has more from officials. Matthew?
And of all those remains found, only one has yet to be positively identified, Simone. Earlier today, we were expecting an update from the National Transportation Safety Board, but the agency says they're holding off for now as they are waiting to get more data from that Black Hawk helicopter, which is still in the water. The goal is to have it removed out of the river by this weekend. Salvage operations continue today and will last until this evening as crews get closer to removing all of the parts that once belonged to American Airlines Flight 5342. New angles from the National Transportation Safety Board's drone as investigators survey the wreckage sites in the Potomac River. Salvage crews made progress removing most of the American Airlines jet first. The U.S. Coast Guard launching extra resources to create a zone around the scene to keep crews and the investigation protected.
It is essentially to keep the general public out and allow responders to focus on the response effort at those different crash sites and the different debris collection sites throughout the Potomac River.
The NTSB deployed multiple groups to analyze every facet of the aircraft and flight plans to find out how and why the military helicopter collided with the passenger plane. They've collected the recording devices from both aircraft and are working to synchronize all communication. The NTSB says it needs more data from the helicopter, which should be removed by this weekend.
So they want to make sure there's nothing wrong with the helicopter. There was no mechanical problem.
Former NTSB investigator Alan Deal has been paying close attention to updates since the mid-air collision killed 67 people last week. One of the biggest questions is why it appears the three-member crew in the helicopter may have been flying too high. Preliminary data shows conflicting altitude readings. The plane was at around 325 feet at the time of the collision, but it showed the helicopter was at 200 feet.
If you're 150 miles an hour and you're under 200 feet and all of a sudden an airliner appears in front of you, if you shove the nose down and try to descend, you're going to hit the water. You're going to die for certain. On the other hand, if you climb, there's a chance that you will miss the airliner and everybody survives.
Now, another big question that he brings up that the NTSB is also investigating is whether that crew in the helicopter was wearing the night vision goggles. Experts, former NTSB investigators and a former Black Hawk helicopter pilot also says that when you wear those goggles, it can also be very limiting. Of course, that is still under investigation. But again, in the last hour, another big update is that officials were able to find all 67 victims. Simone.
We think of the families. I think that's where our hearts, our minds are right now. And of course, I know you're going to stay on top of this investigation and you'll bring us the very latest as soon as we get some more details with this. Matthew reporting for us from Reagan tonight. Thank you.